Hey anyone, I'm Hawk, and today I want to go over a few things to remember when watching reviews. So, we all buy shit, and a lot of us look at reviews of whatever it is we're going to buy before we actually buy it. If you don't do this, it can be a good practice, but finding a good review can be harder than navigating a literal minefield. Today, a lot of reviewers seem like they either didn't play the game or watch the movie, or if they did, they're severely under-equipped to review said thing. I know Sir Felix and I both feel like some of the biggest names on this platform, at least in the gaming sphere, say shit that kind of implies they didn't really play, or more so finish, the games that they're talking about, at least some of the time. That's disappointing enough as it is, but what's more disappointing to me personally is people kind of taking what these reviewers say as the word of God. There are good reviewers out there, but you need to do some digging and have a general understanding of context to find them. So here's some stuff you should keep in mind when watching a review. First off is understanding that the person you're watching is still just a person, a normal person. Their word isn't law, and they probably have different interests from you. They also may not see things the way you do. They may not catch a theme, or they may find something you don't. Their review is their opinion, and you'll probably have a different one if you play the game or buy whatever it is they're reviewing. Another good thing to remember is that something that bothers them may not bother you. Or maybe something that they are okay with is a big deal to you. For me, I've mentioned before on the channel that I'm a gorehound with games. It probably sounds stupid, but if a game is trying to be realistic or dark yet has no or very little blood, then it kind of takes me out of the experience personally. That may not matter to you at all, but it's a bit of a turnoff for me. Had I done a review on a game that has, darker themes but less gore and never mentioned that, my overall opinion would lean a bit more negative than it seemingly should on the surface. You may catch that negative leaning and think it came from nowhere, but there's always a million factors that color our opinions on things. Always. And we're never going to know all of them when we're watching someone review something. The more you know about a reviewer, the more you'll understand their position. This is kind of true with all things in general. With that being said, you don't know anyone you watch online. You just don't. You know a character they present to you, and that's about it. Some are more genuine than others, sure, but at the end of the day, it's always just a character. If you want a review you could actually trust, it's best to hear it from someone you know personally. Ask a friend, or ask someone you may know in real life in general. They'll give you something far more useful than anyone online can give you. Whether it's a YouTuber or some rando on Reddit, you won't really get the full picture from these people. So ask someone that you know. Another problem is trust. It seems like the bigger reviewers are either getting paid for good reviews or just lost the plot years ago. I don't know which it is, and maybe it's both, but god damn do they suck now. And don't even get me started on the number system. The 1 through 10 system tells you nothing today. Sure, we use it on the show, the live show sometimes for the movies that we watch, occasionally, but we also haven't forgotten the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It seems like things are just 7s, 8s, 9s, or 10s at this point, at least generally speaking. If they aren't that, then they're a 1. And really, if we're honest, very few games or movies are really 1s. Superman 64 is a 1. That's a good example. But a thing has to be exceptionally bad to be a 1. This shit is partially on the reviewers, but it's also on the viewers, who somehow think that anything under 8 is now dog shit. Yet another example of people's binary thinking today. Shit's either great or it's unplayable to these people. It's sensationalist, it's stupid, and it contributes nothing to the conversation. Ultimately, there is one reviewer you could trust above all else. Yourself. In my opinion, the best thing to do when you don't know if you should get something or not is to look up as much raw information on it as possible. Watch gameplay, read about it from the creators or from more neutral sources, read descriptions, and take a bit to think about everything you find on it. Trust your gut. Your gut knows more than your mind does sometimes, in a manner of speaking. If you're on the fence about something, wait, and that feeling will be validated in time, I'm sure. I don't know about you, but when I have a funny feeling about something, it's almost always right. It may take a bit to be proven, but it usually happens. We live in a time where everything around us is asking for all of our time and money, but we seem to keep getting less and less of both. So everything we do has to be worth it. Everything we buy has to be worth it, and often it's just not. Be skeptical, think about the past, and do your homework on anything you want to get. Your instincts will tell you whether or not it's good most of the time, and you just have to listen to it. You have to listen to yourself. Anyway, that's a little bit of what I think about reviewers and why you should trust yourself above them. But if you watched the whole video, thank you for getting to this point. If not, well, see ya! And let me know what you think down below. Thanks. Stay safe.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.